What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Handmade Business Secrets podcast. And today I want to talk to you about the 5 keys to building a strong brand. Let's dive in. Well, hey, welcome back to the show. I'm so excited that you're here with us. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to check out the podcast. If you're listening to the podcast, again, go subscribe, check out the YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk to you about the 5 keys to building a strong brand. Now, one of the things that I just want to mention is that this video is coming straight off the request of one of our YouTube viewers. So if you have a request for some type of business knowledge you'd like me to do an episode on, this is great for me because it gives me more ideas and allows us to continue expanding and really helping you with the things that you have questions about. So if you have questions about anything, be sure to drop that in the comments below so we can record a video for you, okay? So today I want to talk to you about the 5 keys to building a strong brand. Now, number one, I want to just identify why do we want to focus on this? Why is building a strong brand important? And I used this analogy in a previous video, but it's really because if you think about the fact that there are Walmart shoes, Nikes, and Gucci shoes, the same material is really being used across all those, right? There's not way finer materials going into the Nikes or the Gucci shoes than there is the Walmart shoe, right? But what allows the Nike shoe to charge, or what allows Nike to charge, 8 to 10 times more than the Walmart shoe is the brand, right? Is the name recognition. What allows the Gucci to charge, 100 times more is not the materials, it's not the labor, it's not the craftsmanship. Obviously, it's a good product, but at the end of the day, it's the name, it's the brand. So branding does a lot of things for you. It opens up a lot of possibilities for your company, opens up a lot of possibilities for you from a profit standpoint. And so when you build a strong brand, it allows you to charge premium pricing. It also allows you to attract higher end customers, which are usually easier to deal with and give you better results, better reviews in the long run. So that's kind of the goal. That's why you want to do that. And so I'm going to give you 5 ways to do that. Okay. So we want to focus on several things here, but let's just take our time through each of them. So number one, first key principle to building a strong brand is to watch your mouth. Now, when I say this, I'm not necessarily saying that you have to say or do a certain thing. I'm just saying that you need to be aware of what you say and what you do. So the way you communicate will attract people that are attracted to the way that you communicate. I'm going to say that one more time. The way you communicate will attract people that are attracted to the way that you communicate. So what we want to focus on is we want to really be extremely clear on our ideal avatar, and then we want to speak their language. We want to speak the language that they would be attracted to. Okay, one of the biggest mistakes that I see custom furniture makers or handmade business owners or woodworkers making is it's, hey, come buy my stuff, come buy my stuff, come buy my stuff. That's the way that they communicate. That's the language that they use. And that doesn't attract anybody. And so we have to start learning how to speak the language of our ideal avatar, speak the language of our clients that we're trying to attract. And now when we do that, what happens is we communicate values. So people love other people and businesses that share the same values as them. Now this is one of those things where a lot of times we don't feel like we can do this because we're going to repel other people that don't align with our values. Can I just tell you something? That's probably what you want to do. You probably don't want the clients, you probably don't want the customers that don't align with your values. So if you communicate your values, then you're going to attract people that hold those same values. Now, for me, for example, with our Woodworking Business Accelerator program here, I attract lots of clients that see the world the same way that I do in regards to what they care about, what matters to them, that they're high quality people. Because I talk about my values. I talk about that I love my family, that I love the Lord, that I have a faith, right? And so in general, those are the type of people that I attract inside the program. Now, that's not always the case, but for the most part, that's the case. So number one is watch your mouth when it comes to building a strong brand. You communicate your values, and your values attract people that value those things. Number two is just have better content than your competitors. Your goal is to compete and to make everybody else look bad. That's your goal. One of the biggest mistakes I see in our space is that woodworkers spend hours on a piece of furniture, or they spend hours doing something, and then they get terrible photos. They get terrible video, or they don't get any photos or don't get any video. They take pictures of stuff in poor lighting, or they don't value this at all. And so what happens is you're never going to be able to grow because you're not attracting people. And let me just remind you of this. I've said this before. The photos and the video that you take of your products are actually worth more than the products themselves. I'm not kidding. If you can take an incredible photo of one of your products, you can sell 15, 20, 30 of those pieces by having a great photo. But the photo and the video is what you actually sell. It's not the product itself. When people see it, they're seeing the photo, they're seeing the video. If you have a terrible photo and terrible lighting, if you have terrible video, then they are seeing a really poor representation of your beautiful product. And so what woodworkers do is we focus on the product, and you should focus on the product. The product should be awesome. But then we downplay the importance of collecting media around the product that we've just produced. And so what we want to do here is we want to have a beautiful website. Okay, we want to have a beautiful website that looks like the websites of those in our space killing the game. Okay, so we want to have a beautiful website. We want to have incredible photography of our products. You can't always get incredible photography, but you need to do the best that you can. One of my clients inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, every single time she gets done with a product, she just walks it outside and sets it on her grass and takes a picture, or gets video of it and puts music over the video. And it's beautiful every single time. And it's just sitting outside in the grass, okay? So I think sometimes we overthink this. We think that, man, I've got to have lighting set up. I've got to have production. I've got to hire somebody to do this. That's not the case. Not yet. Maybe down the road. But as of right now, just do the best you can with what you have, but you have to value it. If you do not value it, it will not become a part of your brand. And so you want to have great photos. You want to have great videos, okay? Number 3, third key principle to building a strong brand is the product has to be great. The product has to be great. So I see lots of brands, lots of companies that come out of the gate hot. So they've got the first 2 things down. They know how to communicate. They know how to have great media. But then once somebody has had the product for a couple months, they start realizing that, man, this is kind of a trash product. It doesn't really do a great job. It doesn't do what it should do. It's falling apart. If you're a woodworker, it's like, the seams are busting, or it's warping, or whatever, right? At the end of the day, bad reviews and bad word of mouth will destroy a brand way faster than good reviews and good word of mouth will build it. The amount of leverage that a bad review and bad experience has to destroy your reputation is way greater than all the good things. So you have to protect that. And so one of the greatest ways to protect that is to continually be improving your product, okay? Your brand will lose if you do everything right, and then ultimately your product stinks. Your customers end up hating it. They don't love it. You cannot continue to grow. You cannot continue to scale. So you have to constantly be refining the product. Now, here's some of the best advice I can give you on this is that you need to listen to your customers. If your customers are upset, don't just close off. And because a lot of us, we don't handle criticism well, we take it personally. So what we've got to do is we've got to learn how to lean in to our customers' feedback and make sure that we're giving them our full attention, okay? So that's number 3. This one is a really kind of a fun one. It's creative. 4th key principle to building a strong brand is to leverage the credibility of others. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is who in your local community, who in your sphere of influence has a ton of influence over your ideal avatar, and how can you get into a relationship or partnership with that person or that company? For example, I'm in East Texas. I'm in Longview, Texas. There's the East Texas Builders Association, which puts on the Parade of Homes. I got in with them, got advertising set up with them, got in and made relationships with builders and clients. Now we generate probably $50,000 to $85,000 every single year from Parade of Homes specific clients. I leverage the credibility of well-known home builders and the East Texas Builders Association to position myself as a high-end premium brand that way. So you want to leverage other people's influence, okay? So just think right now, who in my local community, if I got my products in their stores, it would make me legit. If I had them do a shout out talking about the quality of my products, it would make me legit. Figure that out and then start making moves that way. And then just start that with a relationship. How can I give value to that organization or to that person? And you can't go asking for free. That's never going to work. So you got to figure out, how do I give value to that relationship, okay? So here's my final principle to building a strong brand, and that really is premium pricing. And this is terrifying for most people. Everybody says, everyone in the woodworking space, you get in these woodworking groups on Facebook, I can't sell anything for more than, a little bit above my costs. Everybody wants to compete on price. So-and-so can build it for less, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, okay? Well, the reason that is a problem for you is because you are afraid to move into a premium pricing bracket. You think right now, because no one's buying my stuff with me selling it at $300, that there's no way I can sell it for $1,000 and people will buy my stuff, right? And this is kind of a legitimate argument if you don't understand premium pricing. So, but I want you to think about something, okay? Imagine that a consumer is talking to two different companies. Let's say they're two different custom table companies. From what the consumer can tell, one guy's building a 8-foot farmhouse table for $800 and the other guy's building an 8-foot farmhouse table for $2,000, okay? So we've got a pretty giant discrepancy here in price, okay? Now, depending upon the consumer, they will pick the $800 one because it's cheaper if they value price above everything else. So the way that we compete is we increase prices and we attach guarantees and warranties to our products. We ensure quality. We make sure that it's a great experience. We offer delivery. We do the things that the $800 guy can't do based on the extra profit margins that we have. But what this allows us to do is it allows you to grow. If you're constantly barely making money, you can't grow. You can't hire team members. You can't rent a larger facility. You have to increase your prices so that you have more net profit at the end of every month to make moves, okay? So that you can invest more money in marketing, so that you can invest more more money in team members, so you can invest more money into tools and equipment, right? So premium pricing is such a driving factor in creating a strong brand. And it's literally just having the courage to increase your prices and then be able to justify why. Number one, we use premium products. Number two, we're professional craftsmen. We've been doing this for the last 5 years. We have, among our team, we have a combined 45 years of experience, right? You lay all these reasons out compared to just the dude in his garage just making it for $800, right? Well, if somebody's only price conscious, they'll go with the guy that's $800. But if people are, number one, high quality clients, they're going to want guarantees against their furniture. They're going to want warranties against their furniture. They're going to want you to hand deliver it to their house. They're going to want to sit down with you inside of your showroom and have a custom design experience, right? And so it's figuring this out. It's figuring out how to leverage premium pricing, not for your detriment, but for your benefit. And I promise you, as you start charging premium prices, 95% of the time, you're going to get a higher quality client. Most of the time, they're more clear in communication. They're not as wishy-washy. They don't have buyer's remorse. They have expendable income, and they are confident in the buying and purchasing decisions that they make. Okay, so just to recap, 5 key principles to building a strong brand. Number 1, watch your mouth. Communicate your values. You'll attract people that have the same values as you communicate those. Number 2 is just have better content than your competitors. You're trying to crush your competitors, make them look bad. You want to have the best photography, best videography, best social media presence, best website out of anybody in your local area by far, okay? I cannot tell you the amount of times that someone has tagged me on Facebook. Someone said, I'm looking for somebody to build me a farmhouse table. Somebody tags my company. I get on there and just say, hey, here's my website. Feel free to check it out. 2 or 3 days later, that client calls me. Hey, there was 15 recommendations on my post, but I checked out your website, and your website's amazing. It's way better and way more legit than anybody else's that I've seen. So that was really what pushed me over the edge to go ahead and go with you, okay? This makes a difference, okay? Number 3 is your product has to be great. You have to constantly be refining your product. Listen to your customers. If they're complaining about something, figure out how to solve the problems that they're complaining about. Don't just write them off and say they're a hard customer. Sometimes they are, but value what they have to say, okay? Number 4 is leverage the credibility and the success of other people. Who in like-minded industries can you have promote your products, or can you partner with, so that their established success speaks to yours, and the people that already know, like, and trust them, now you're getting their audience as well, okay? And then number 5 is premium pricing. Have the courage to increase your prices. With that, you can't have a trash product. You can't have terrible photography, because I've learned that you can only increase your prices to the point that your overall brand supports those prices, okay? But if you have incredible photography, if you have an incredible website, if you have an incredible experience, if you're on top of your game, then you can continually justify why you're charging premium prices, okay? So this one a little bit long. I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much again for your time and your attention. This is episode number 98. If you're watching this on YouTube, go check out the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. Go check out all the other episodes. We've been in this game for a minute, and I promise you're going to get an incredible amount of value by going and subscribing to the podcast. If you have any questions that you want me to answer, you want me to do a video on, be sure to leave that in the comments below. I'd love to dive off and answer your questions. So with that being said, I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything, and I'll see you in the next video.